Welcome to our webinar on organic in food service and the Organic Served Here Award. My name is Sarah Jupp and I'm the Business Development Manager for Organic Served Here, the UK's only organic award for restaurants and cafes. As producers and suppliers of certified organic produce, our aim is to raise awareness of the business that the businesses that use your produce to keep them coming back to you for your organic supply. Just in case anyone is listening to us that's new to us, the Soil Association is both an organic certifier and a charity. The Soil Association is the leading membership charity in the UK campaigning for healthy, humane and sustainable food, farming and land use. And you'll find our certification symbol on 70% of organic products in the UK. So, just going to move to the next slide. What we'll cover today is background on the organic market, how the organic market is performing and what attitudes are to eating out sustainably. About the Organic Served Here Award, how restaurants and cafes using your organic supply can achieve recognition, how it can help you retain and build customers, what's involved if your customers would like to apply, and how we can help you promote this to your customers. And how restaurants can afford to source organic, some top tips on being cost effective with organic. So I'll start off with highlights from the Soil Association's Organic Market Report. Every year we create this report based on figures from our organic licensees, and the latest report was published in February 2018. So I'm pleased to share some top line highlights with you today to give you some background on how organic's doing. So there has been continuous growth, I'm pleased to say, in organic over the last 6 years after the recession hit. And we have now exceeded pre-recession levels to be at £2.2 billion, which is higher than ever before, which is great. And it's great news, but the reality is that only 1.5% of the market is organic. So there's lots and lots of potential for growth. To give you a little geographical context, UK organic is flagging behind the organic trend internationally. This indicates the potential for future growth of organic, I'd say. Denmark is the world leader for organic with 9.7% of the market and 20% growth over the last year, followed by Sweden. Canada, France, Germany, Australia and USA have also all got a bigger share of the organic market than we do. Looking at retail figures as an indicator here, the growth in the number of organic products has been outperforming non-organic products since 2014. Organic is going mainstream, it's official, and it's gaining traction. So looking at growth in sales figures of our organic licensees, there's been a growth in the last year across the board. Independent retail and home delivery schemes are making buying organic so much easier and are really helping to contribute to this portion of the pie here. But the biggest growth over the last year, interestingly, has been in food service. So supermarkets are still bringing home the bacon for organic products, and their sales take up 67% of the pie. And again, using retail stats here, here's an insight into what products have the biggest market share in terms of value. So dairy and fresh produce are leading the way, but there has been greatest growth year on year last year in chilled foods and deli, fresh produce and alcohol. So I'm going to do a poll now. Bear with me 2 seconds while I get the know-how going. So you should see on your screen now, hopefully, a question. Do you know what percentage of meals are eaten out of the home? So do have a stab at choosing between one of those options. Excellent. We're still having a little deliberation here. All right, well, we haven't had all of the answers in yet, but it shows so far that half of people who voted think that it's 20% and half think it's 40%. And I can now reveal that it's actually 40% of the market. So 40%, sorry, of meals are now eaten out of the home. So no wonder the fastest growing segment for organic is food service. The potential really is huge and exciting. We wanted to springboard from our market research to delve deeper into dining out choices and whether consumers are still switched on by the same things when eating out. Do they still care about ethical ingredients when they're not at home? So we surveyed 200 people, not profiled for their organic eating habits, and from a variety of age groups and socioeconomic backgrounds. The results highlight the growing demand for organic in food service. This is really encouraging for restaurants and cafes already serving organic, but it also demonstrates the opportunity for more food places to introduce organic to their menu. This is what we learned. Given that only 1.5% of the UK food and drink market is organic, our recent Eating Out Sustainably survey clearly demonstrates that organic is on the brain when eating out. Eating out is for the majority a treat, and even with so many choices of eateries, it's clear that organic is a deciding factor. A staggering half of people would be more likely to choose a restaurant that highlights its ethical or sustainable credentials. And 43% think a restaurant or cafe will be better than others if they see organic on the menu or drinks list. You may think that there are enough eateries out there serving organic or that it doesn't matter enough, but you'd be wrong. 47% think there aren't enough restaurants that serve ethically or sustainably sourced dishes. And even for people who don't necessarily know what organic means, the perception is clearly positive. A third would be more likely to eat at a restaurant or cafe described as organic. But eateries are not being clear enough that they serve organic. 2/3, that's 67%, find it hard to tell if a restaurant or cafe sells organic food or drink. And nearly 3/4, 72%, think it's difficult to tell if a restaurant is serving ethically or sustainably sourced dishes. Organic is regularly associated with premium, and costs can be a hurdle for chefs when considering changing their sourcing. It's not always the case that organic is more expensive, but this shouldn't be off-putting for restaurateurs. As many as 39% said they'd be happy to pay a little bit more for a meal or drink if it was made from organic ingredients. And a similar number, 41%, said that a dish described as organic makes it more appealing. So there's clearly a perception that organic means premium quality and something worth paying a little more for. Organic is on the up on the high street, but mainly in kids' menus. Our out to lunch league table of casual dining high street restaurant chains shows that nearly half of the best kids' menus feature organic. That's double the figure it was 2 years ago. Organic is now served at Wetherspoons, Beefeater, Brewers Fayre, Harvest Estrada, Jamie's Italian, McDonald's, ZZ, Giraffe, Nando's, Las Iguanas and Prezzo, and other restaurant chains are available. So through our Organic Served Here award, we want to help people to find organic when eating out of the home, get more restaurants and cafes stocking organic, support organic licensees and supplying food service, and help to explain to consumers and chefs exactly what organic is and why it's important. Organic Served Here is an accreditation scheme which recognises and raises awareness of restaurants and cafes serving organic food and drink. It's the only award of its kind in the UK. The award is a simple, high profile and good value way to ensure customers know and appreciate the lengths to which your restaurant or cafe goes to in sourcing high quality organic ingredients. The way that we rate award holders is based solely on the percentage of organic ingredients that they use in a typical month. Starting at 15% organic for a 1-star award, an applicant doesn't have to source very much organic to qualify. We want to encourage restaurants not using organic to start using organic, so there's a low level entry point. However, 5-star award holders will be heralded as making the most effort with their sourcing. So on anything less than a 4-star logo, than a 5-star logo even, blank stars highlight that the potential 5-star scale of the award. So the logo also incentivizes your customers to aspire to source more organic to achieve more stars. Our first ever restaurant award holder was Café St Honore from Edinburgh, owned by the executive chef Neil Forbes. He says of the award, from a guest's point of view, they see the Soil Association as a mark of excellence and quality, and therefore associate us with that high quality. More and more people dining out are conscious of their health and are aware that organic is a better choice. They then trust us to create wonderful dishes using the best ingredients. Neil makes organic meat really affordable by buying in whole carcasses and butchering in-house. He has worked out how to get 140 portions of a lamb out of a lamb that costs £140. Not only that, he has upskilled his chefs and it keeps them challenged and motivated. Here's another example of an award holder in Edinburgh. This is Feed. They run 2 bars and they offer things like burgers, wings and ribs, all of which are organic. Chris Grierson, one of the owners, says our ribs and our chicken wings are our standout products. We pride ourselves on using as much of the animal as we can. Originally, our organic ribs were a waste product for another top-end restaurant before we negotiated to get our hands on them. But we also use the pig skins and ears to make bar snacks. They've done very well out of sourcing chicken wings, which are a hero item on their menu. These are traditionally not so popular in food service, so Feed saw a gap in the market and use all of the chicken wings that one of the producers that we work with in Fife can supply. One of the main reasons for opting for organic was the taste. They cooked up as samples and were hooked. The second reason was it's a great way for them to differentiate themselves from other businesses that attract a younger demographic. And the third reason was to buy from a trusted source that treats their animals well. Other award holders include Pillars of Hercules and Fife. They said last year, just this summer, we have seen a 20% increase in our cafe turnover compared to last year. So people are choosing to eat organic more often and will continue to do so. And finally, at the Better Food Cafes in Bristol, they were awarded 4 stars for the second year running this year. They said it's easy to market because the name organic served here says exactly what it is. So as a mark of achievement, it's a great thing to be able to tell our customers about. In practical terms, working out the percentage of organic spend is not overly complicated, so it's not a massive commitment in terms of time. It's just being rewarded for what you're already doing anyway, plus a bit of an incentive to go the extra mile. So what do award holders get? What would your potential customers get? We will help them with PR and invite them to blog on our website. We also post about them through our social media channels. Our Instagram has nearly 14,000 followers. We have 69,000 likes on Facebook and over 93,000 followers on Twitter. They'll get a certificate to put on display, a logo to use on their website and menu, and window stickers and table talkers for their restaurant. We have an online restaurant finder where they can post an ad so that people can find them nearby. And they'll also have a brilliant opportunity to get behind our campaign, Organic September. This is our biggest campaign and reaches far and wide through events, PR, social media, points of sale, our licensees and partners. 2017 was our most successful Organic September ever, with supermarket sales increasing 3% to 7.1% during the month. Media reach of 61 million, social media reach of 38 million and 50,000 visits to our website. We had 130,000 views of our campaign video featuring Hugh Fearnley-Whittingstall and 3 major multiple supermarkets engaged. That's Waitrose, Aldi and Asda. Organic September is a great place to start. We want to encourage restaurants and cafes to source at least one key ingredient or menu option organically. For those who already use organic, it's easy. They can just jump on the Organic September bandwagon and do what they already do. To join the buzz, they can simply tag on social media, add our Organic September logo to their menu, download promotional posters and add our blurb to their press releases. Some restaurants are even doing special offers and events and competitions throughout the month. There's really no excuse not to get involved. We've made it so accessible. We have an Organic September pack available on request if you'd like to see it. My computer's gone to sleep, so bear with me. And finally, they'll also be eligible to apply under our Best Organic Restaurant category in our Booms Awards. So the Best of Organic Market Awards are the only organic awards in the industry and have a really, really wonderful way to celebrate everyone who works so hard to deliver the highest quality organic food and drink to the public every day. It gets lots of media attention, as you can see. The award will be returning in June 2018 with entries opening in January. Our organic market report is another thing they get as part of the package, which has a recommended retail price of £100. It's free to licensees, but anyone outside of that, it would cost that money too. So what does organic served here cost? It costs £395 per year for one licence. And for restaurants with more than one site, for each additional site, the cost is £50 if the sourcing and the menu are the same. Now, if sourcing and menus are different, it's £175 per additional site. And we offer a 15% discount to charities and social enterprises. So just for your knowledge, if you're talking to any of your customers about this, applying really is very, very simple. So I'm here to help if you need. The first step would be to email goorganic@soilassociation.org for your Organic Served Here Award application pack. We'd then send them an application form and a spend calculator, which is an Excel spreadsheet that they would fill out with a typical month's food invoices. And using our clever formulas, they'd find out their star rating straight away. If there are a few percentage points off their desired rating, so if they were, say, 3 stars, but they wanted to achieve 4, then, if the end is in sight there, we can help them to source a little extra in their area. Then they'd return their application form, calculator, we'd invoice them, and once they've paid, we verify their spend, and that's it. We issued their award. Now, we'd love you to spread the word about the award in meetings, e-newsletters, your website, social media and brochures, any which way you can. We're really hoping that it's a way that they can identify themselves as using your produce and hopefully keep coming back. So we can give you leaflets, PowerPoint slides, promotional copy including market information and statistics, or even a recorded webinar. If there's anything else we can help with, please don't hesitate to ask us. Right, so one of the challenges that we see very often, one of the barriers that we see is to use organic and has been cost, and I wonder whether you encounter this too. As you know, organic is generally, but not always, more expensive than its non-organic counterpart. Now, we could run a whole webinar on the real cost of food, and that would help us to see that the cost of non-organic agriculture is moved elsewhere. For example, the huge proportion of our water bill that is spent on removing harmful nitrates from our water supply, or the cost to the NHS of treating life-limiting diseases not helped by toxins that we ingest through our food chain. But if we interpret this claim strictly at face value, here are some of the ways that you can share with your chefs to help save funds and be more sustainable in some areas, to help to afford sustainable organic ingredients. Firstly, reducing plate waste is key. Roughly 1/3 of the food produced in this country, in the world for human consumption every year is wasted. So that's approximately 1.3 billion tonnes. It's wasted or it gets lost. Some ideas on reducing your food waste include serving smaller portions or offering a choice between medium or large portions. You could always offer second helpings if you were to reduce the size of your servings. You could design your menu to use up peelings. So Spring Restaurant in London, for example, has set up a scratch menu which they serve between 5 and 7 p.m. and it uses up the day's peelings and the offcuts which weren't served for the breakfast or lunch sittings. It's excellent. Finally, you could offer doggy bags for leftovers, but remember, please do use sustainable packaging. You could offer, your customers, could offer fewer but better quality meat options, or maybe even offer free sides for vegetarian options, which would help to fill them up. You could encourage them to buy in whole meat carcasses and ask the local butcher to train them how to butcher in-house. And that can be very effective for some, but obviously room and space might not be an option for others. Buying in season, you'll get far better tasting quality ingredients that you can cook and freeze in bulk if you aren't able to use them straight away. So it's cheaper really buying off season, and it's when those products are harder to source it's not so great buying those products when they're harder to source locally. And finally, if you reduce your energy waste, you're doing your pocket and the environment a huge favour. So that was a bit of a whistle-stop tour, really. We hope you found this webinar interesting and informative. This is my email address, sjap@soilassociation.org, for any queries, and also the link to our page online is soilassociation.org/organic served here. If you're interested in applying or have any special questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. So I've stopped the recording now, but please hold